All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Juan Danny Chief, however you know me by. Welcome to this a game I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but technical difficulties always failed me. And I've tried to do this live, but that was never good for me. Anyways, Final Fantasy 13, I'm doing this post commentary. I have a special guest, close friend of mine, Saturnsaya, aka or Kaylee, aka Saturnsaya. You may have probably seen her in Overwatch or some stuff before, but how you doing, Kaylee?
I'm doing pretty good. It's fun to be here. It's one of my games that I really like. It's one of the first Final Fantasies that I've technically beaten on my own, so it's pretty cool. It's always fun.
Yeah, this would be my first ever Final Fantasy game, like, ever, because it was 2010. There was a commercial. There's like the rare occasion I'll see a commercial for a Japanese game. Final Fantasy. I saw a commercial with Final Fantasy 13 too. It was a very short trailer, but I remember seeing lightning in the goddess knight armor.
Yeah.
And at the time, well, there still is actually. You can actually download a demo of 13.2. Download the demo. I liked what it was and decided to want to play it, but I found out it was the second one. Oddly enough, 13.2.
Who knew?
So I actually got the first one later that year, in I think like in October, November of 2010, something like that.
Might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. This game came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Just let the people know, this game came out in 2009, and found about its sequel like a year later, a year or two later. I forget what it was, but yeah. But I like this game. Sometimes when I watch YouTube videos or people on social media, most people give it a backlash, but it has its fans. What about you, Kaylee? How excited do you find this game?
Man, like, it's not technically the first Final Fantasy I've played. It was just the first one that I managed to beat without having to come back to it later. So like the first Final Fantasy I actually played was 10, I believe. And I got stuck when I was younger, and so I never went back to it until I was at least a couple years older. So this was when this came out, you said 2009. So
yeah, this game came out in 2009.
So
I believe it was August, or it was either August or September that this game came out.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember when I got it, but instead of the PS3 version, I had bought the Xbox 360 version because that's what I had at the time. So
December 17th, 2009 was when this game came
oh,
out.
okay, that makes sense because I think I bought the 360 for Christmas.
Oh.
So it was probably right after.
Yeah, it was 360 and PS3, and then later on it would go into Windows. Like I have 13 and 13.2 on Steam.
Oh, nice.
I have 13.2 on my 360, my PS3, and Steam.
Oh. I only have the first game on PS 360, and then I bought all the subsequent games on PS3.
Too bad it's not on PS4.
I know. I'm really sad actually that it's not. I kind of was hoping for it because I'd love to play it again on PS4.
Oh yeah, I am actually playing this off my Xbox One S.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this became backwards compatible, and they actually, was it? I think you need to have an Xbox One X specifically for the amped up it is, for it to be amped up, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But nevertheless, it's backwards compatible, and that's how I'm playing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm the one taking the helm for 13. Kaylee will be handling 13.2 whenever we get to that.
Oh, alrighty.
But, oh, come on, that's your favorite.
It is true. It is a lot of fun. I like 13 though, so They're both good, and
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, they're both. One of the issues that I guess a lot of hardcore fans of Final Fantasy is that this is a much more simpler Final Fantasy, but it was deliberately made like that
yeah, less
because you know how it is with like Japan games, like the false difficulty for what DMC3, where like normal was hard or whatever,
Yeah,
or like the fact that some Final Fantasies didn't even come over here because they were deemed too hard for us over here.
yeah,
13, its simplicity, or like it just a simplicity, was made for Western audiences. That's why it was made like that.
ah,
And a lot of old school players didn't take a fawn to that.
yeah. I've heard I've heard that argument, and also that the it's not turn-based, very linear, and so yeah.
The nickname the hallway game.
Yeah, the hallway game.
Until end game for some reason.
Yeah.
Also, can I say these are the worst shots ever?
Yeah, they're not
Look
very
at these
good.
Look at these soldiers. Look at that. How can you not shoot them?
They're
You're so bad. Oh my goodness.
oh man.
Yeah, but I have not played this in 4 years. Because I still have my file where I've done a ton of grinding and doing all the achievements and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
I still have that on my 360, but it has been 4 years since I've actually started a new file. I've touched up on my old one, but new files, that's a different case. Oh, but in the case, we start off in the beginning with our characters, Lightning and Zaz. Zaz being my favorite. He's pretty much my favorite RPG character of all time.
Saz is,
favorite
he's
Final
pretty
Fantasy
good.
character.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a great character.
He is. His story is
He's basically
real.
you in this world.
His backstory and stuff is all cool. Like just
Watch and learn.
So this is the prologue they're gonna throw at us with a lot of tutorials as a vacuum time battle, which is basically the ATB meter. Which in classic Final Fantasy was just like 1 meter, like say 7, 9, or something like that. But like in this one, it's one continuous bar. You start off with 2, but the more you go into the game, you get more bars. I believe the max is 5.
yeah, I think so.
1,
Sounds
2,
about
3,
right.
4. Yeah, I think it's like 5. I think 5, and I think 6 if you, because I know some equipment. Or
Oh yeah.
like Saz has one of his weapons actually gives him an extra ATB as a special ability.
Yeah, that's right.
So this beginning boss, the Menacivity War Mech, is supposed to basically tell you when to attack and when not to attack. If the arms start to drill on the train, your move gets canceled out. So in the beginning, it teaches you you can do moves with your bars, but it also teaches you that like some moves will just cancel out your input, your actions.
Not so tough now, huh? Hey, that wasn't like a challenge now, all right? Hey! Time to go!
I actually scored myself a the actual strategy guide for this game actually.
Oh, nice.
It came in when I was in after I was done with the prologue, and I came the next day.
Well, that's still enough time to
Yeah, so
to be utilized. That's actually really cool.
yeah, but I never really used strategy guides because I didn't know it was a thing. Like I knew like tips in magazines, the gaming magazines, this and that, but Yeah, this thing's very insightful. It teaches you about the weapons and whatnot.
Nice.
I have I'm gonna be doing a set weapon for each character, because every weapon has different traits to it. More attack, more magic, this and that, here and there.
Yeah, makes sense. Try to optimize them for their roles that they'll take.
Now, this is the one thing that I would say Lightning Returns kind of fix, is where in Lightning Returns, which is the third entry of the series, which we don't talk about, but we have to talk about it.
What third
you can
entry?
actually
There's no
move
third
free-
entry.
A paradox. Paradox, kids. Paradox. There are some attacks that'll go, and if your characters are in the way, they'll get hit, but like if they're to the side, then it won't get hit. So if Lightning was more to the right there, she would have avoided it, but you don't have control of your character's movements. They move freely, depending on the actions you do, or the enemies they choose to chase.
Yeah.
In Lightning Returns, you can move freely, so you can actually avoid some attacks in that game. Some.
Yeah, some.
Some are still unavoidable, of course.
Yeah. That was a nice change. It is. It feels
Too
like
bad
it
it took
should be a
them 3
little.
games for
I
that.
know, right? It does feel like it could be a little freer, or it should be a little freer in the
What are you doing trying to stop the purge?
original
Why don't you
too.
tell me that?
But
Was a soldier.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Well, the game before this, Final Fantasy 12, with the one with Vaughn, I'm not too
Just can't catch a break, can we?
too on board with that one,
Yeah, that's
but
the question.
I could relate it. Its gameplay is more reminiscent of the Xenoblade Chronicle kind of style, where you don't exactly get teleported into an arena for the fights. You just fight where you are, and you can move around. But like if you're too close or enemies targeting you, you'll still get hit.
yeah.
And then this one, they go back to the traditional turn base where you fight an enemy, go teleport into a different area, and you just but it's not like 10, 9, 7, or like like more older Final Fantasies where you just stay in one line. In this one, your characters move about sometimes.
Yeah.
I say sometimes because the characters that never move for to attack are Vanille, Hope, Zaz. Fang, Snow, and Lightning will run up to attack the enemies. Because even some of their magic attacks, like a Flame Strike, is basically them hitting you with fire on their weapon.
Yeah.
Like that. Alright, so how I'm handling the battles is that I'm at least showing, for the most part, at least one formation, the majority of the enemies. I was having some trouble editing earlier, thinking, it's like, did I show this one already?
No.
So yeah, we already saw that formation of just 2 blasters.
Yeah.
So that just skipped through.
Makes sense. There's no point in seeing the same fights over and over.
I may leave some fights where we have the same enemies just for story. I know that happens like one time in this. Like one time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's during Snow's part of it. It's part of this prologue.
Yeah.
So during this whole beginning, we're not gaining experience at all. We are just making our way. You just make your way and you just defeat enemies, gather items, continue story. You do not gain experience whatsoever. Which to me, my first Final Fantasy, I was unaware.
Oh.
I
Oh,
yeah, it's an
no.
RPG. It's like no experience. I didn't question it because I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd assume you get XP, but I suppose that makes sense because until you get the Crystarium,
Better to die than
you don't really have anything to level up, so
it's hell.
Which is basically chapter 2.
yeah, so
Yeah, well, hell's not sounding too bad.
I think chapter 2 or chapter 3. I'm not sure. No. The bridge is chapter 1. The Grand Pulse. No, the Pulse of Sea is 2.
yeah.
We gotta fight again.
Actually, I didn't actually grow up playing a lot of RPGs. Like, I think one of the very few RPGs I did play was Paper Mario. And like, unless like action hack and slash had like RPG elements to it, no, I think like Paper Mario was like one of the one and only RPGs I've played when I was little. 13 was basically my actual like entrance towards RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
Because after 13, I played 13 too. There's Dark Souls, and the various anime games out there that are RPGs, of course, because anime just speaks RPG.
Yeah, that is true. It does.
So I'm meting out battles that we already seen or formations. If it's a different formation, I'll show it. In terms of the equipment and the experience, I usually I decided just to edit those out
Okay.
because later on it'll get a little hectic. Or because I remember one time I think my last recording when I was in chapter 4, I think I spent like a good 20 minutes editing some stuff. So
Oh.
yeah. When was it because you got to make your bases with the paradigm system. Otherwise you're kind of toast in some situations.
Yeah. That is true.
Edits might be a little, the cuts might be a little off. One thing I gotta note is that whenever I do an edit, either from the menu or something, or like after a battle, it's to stand still for a bit and then progress. Like I gotta do that.
Might make it a little
just so it doesn't-
smoother.
You'll see as we continue on, of course. So these are 3 blasters. The gunmen are they die pretty fast. They don't really have that much defense.
Yeah. And when you're lucky enough to have them all group up, you could just do a couple blitzes.
The battle system, there's auto battle where the game gives you a set of moves to do, or there's the abilities where you choose what to do.
Preemptive strike.
Rebels. So much for the
Yeah, I've
You could also hold right on the abilities to do the same moves over that you just did. So if you did like 3 fires, you can hold right on the abilities to do the same thing. A preemptive attack, I did that earlier. You basically get the jump on enemies. You hit all enemies once, and that gets their stagger meter upwards. We won't learn about the stagger until chapter 3.
Oh yeah. I always did
You do
like
a lot of
staggering.
things that the game tries to tell you like later on.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it out. I'm saying it now, because the game will tell us later anyway. So.
Yeah. I thought it was always fun staggering enemies.
Oh, it was the best when you got the launch.
Yes. You just juggle them up there.
Yeah, in previous Final Fantasies it had some realism into it, where I think Final Fantasy X was like the worst of it for me.
Oh.
Where if your opponent was in the air, like say Tidus targets a flying enemy, it's like, oh, you can't attack that.
Yeah.
Because Tidus
Can't reach.
can't reach or something. So that was a bit frustrating, to be honest, because also used to 13 just like, oh, they're in the air, let me just super jump.
Yeah, let me just jump.
And go. Yeah, they just jump and attack them.
I mean, they must have
But that's
crazy. They must have like way less gravity or something on these worlds.
Oh my goodness. when we fight the sergeant at the fight of at the fall of Cocoon,
Mm-hmm.
where his mech's like really up there.
Oh yeah.
The characters decide to jump really high
Yep.
up. The numbers jump really huge in this game. Like, I think there's a trophy achievement where you have to do 999,999 damage in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
In one hit.
I think I vaguely remember that one.
It's basically max damage that you can do. Because like in the classic games, you could do 9,999. In this game, you can do 999,999 damage.
Yeah. I think you had to get the stagger meter up like way up high or something to get that.
It's very late game. You have to do that. You have to do like a chain to lead to that.
Mm-hmm.
So Pantherans, these are mechanized creatures. This game has a theme where the military transforms different creatures into their tools, I guess. They cybernize animals in this game.
Mm-hmm.
How did Peter not shoot? Sue?
How indeed.
Alright, because they're not real! This was actually one of the few first 360 games I got for my 360
Oh, nice.
back then.
Yeah.
Because I was still in high school and I didn't have a, of course I didn't have a job in this that.
Uh-huh.
But I was in. I asked my mom if she could get me this game, and she said okay. I think it was like I think it was an early birthday present, like a month before my birthday. I was asking her, and she just decided to get it for me, and just like that's for your birthday. I'm like, yay!
Nice. Yeah. I suppose I must have gotten this. I don't remember when I got the 360. I don't remember if it was the Christmas before this game had came out or a little after. But this was also one of the first games that I bought for the 360. Or I say I bought, but it was probably my parents who bought, because...
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the game barely teaching you about staggers, even though you can get staggers beforehand. But the meter on the very right side, on top right, when you target a certain character, will show their stagger build up. Get it to max, and you do more damage to them. That is depending if, but you don't do as much damage because some enemies are like have your damage on certain things or are resistant at entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So, soldier, what's your angle?
So, Lightning. Some can say it's a female version of Cloud because she is like emotionless,
What's the matter?
like on the job.
Did you think I'm gonna go out there and just tell everybody your
I'll
secrets?
see. My angle. I'm after the foul
Yeah,
sea.
I've heard that comparison before. It's pretty common.
Still happy you tagged along.
All right, so Cocoon is, I guess you can relate it to like just like normal Earth, and like Pulse. Like Cocoon is above Pulse, where Pulse is nothing but land, but like wildlife and untouched land, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean it's been touched, but like, It's like the Savage Land, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe Pulse? Well, they call it Grand Pulse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely untamed, I guess. Like, people don't go down there because they're worried about what the government says about it, which is like it's wild and
And Cocoon is basically like Earth. That's where like everyone lives and whatnot.
Huge.
The big thing about the story of this game is that there's false Pulse Lassie and there's Lassie, and like that's like the enemy,
Here.
and everyone's basically afraid of it. It's one of those, the government says this, everyone believes it.
mm-hmm.
So whatever is Lassie related or anything,
No match for Nora.
it's just a no. Anyways, Snow Villers, voiced by Troy Baker.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Yes.
It's hero time.
I do like him for that reason.
Troy Baker,
Yeah.
Troy Baker, the voice of Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Kanji Tatsumi.
Ah,
Love that dude.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to press start, but
Oops.
yeah, I meant to press start there. So
All good.
so I do have field messages subtitles, and I do have event subtitles. So you will see subtitles of people saying stuff in the background, or people you pass by, like we just did now. It's like, I don't want to die. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's little flavor text sometimes.
I usually leave on subtitles.
Then take a nap.
Really? Can I?
Sure. And when we're taking a dirt nap, you can save them all.
Oh, that's even worse.
Just makes it a little easier to understand what they say sometimes.
No dirt naps today. We're all in this together. Our enemy's the Cocoon Sanctum. Their dreaded Psychon.
Well, sometimes they put a lot of detail to subtitles. I know, detail to subtitles. Like in Assassin's Creed, they'll talk Assassin's Creed 2 to Revelations, they speak in Roman,
Oh.
I think,
Yeah.
Let's prove it.
and like they'll talk in English, but there are times where they speak in their native language,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll actually
Sanctum's gonna pay for this.
translate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you'd need the translation then, yeah.
Well, I mean, what was it? I mean, it just, what was it? That is if you want to know what they're saying.
Mhm.
But if not, then they'll just, like, say the normal stuff. Alright, Snow Villers hits pretty hard, and in the prologue, he has regular attacks, which just punches, and he has a hand grenade. Which in the older Final Fantasies is pretty much like an item you could use. But nope, this one, it's basically his blitz, and it does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
We've seen that battle. Moving on.
No more.
Oh yeah, Maggie, Gadot, and Lebrew.
Everywhere.
We only see these characters in the beginning here. After this, they're gone from the game.
What's the
Yeah.
plan?
Not until the second one.
It's kind of too bad. It's kind of
Gent, guns blazing.
Hey,
neat to have him in battle for a little bit, but
real heroes don't need plans.
Well, for story.
yeah, for story, but still. I guess they can't have Snow just be alone for all this. Probably take too
That's
much
because
damage.
they're part of Nora.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Snow has the most interesting weapon in terms of equipment, because he doesn't actually have a weapon. He just uses his fists. So what's interesting about his weapon is that he'll have a different design on his coat.
Yeah.
Because like right now it's like a bear, and later on there'll be like different versions. So like I think he has the most unique weapon just because of that one feature.
Yeah.
Because Sass has guns, Lightning has a sword, sword gun, gun blade.
Gun
Yeah,
sword.
sword gun.
Sword gun.
Yeah, because Squall has gun blade,
Yeah.
where clearly it's a gun but it's a blade. And in the case of lightning, it's a sword, but it's also a gun.
Yep.
Yeah, the most beefy enemy you're gonna encounter usually in this prologue are the Pantherons. They're more beefier than the soldiers, just by a bit, but still.
Don't you kids go falling behind now.
But yeah, it is kind of interesting that they made his weapons, his coat design, instead of just giving him like fists or something. Or not fist, but like
Gauntlets.
yeah, gauntlets or
Gauntlets or fisticuffs or like some hand weapon.
yeah. So and then Hope's got the boomerang. And Vanille's got the weird
Binding
cable
pole, I think.
wand thing.
Yeah, it's like rod.
Yeah.
It's a rod.
Yeah, it's a rod, yeah. I just thought it was weird that the
Weirdly
cables kind of like come out of it.
You all okay? Hey, careful with those. Don't worry. No one's moving to Pulse today. We'll clear you a path out of here, so be ready to...
Wait! Let me fight with you! You can't expect us to just sit here!
Good help.
Yep. Please, let us help!
Okay then. Volunteers front and center.
Here, take this one. Here you go. Oh, and one for you.
Count
Go
me
for
in.
it. Here's yours. Take care now. Mom?
Mother.
Yep.
She's just called Mother.
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 No name.
Nice.
Yeah, no name, just Mother. I mean, you and I already know her name,
Yeah,
but
still, like,
yeah, subtitles is just Mother. It's not even question mark. It's just
Mother.
Mother.
Moms are tough.
Right.
It's the last one, boss.
All right, last one. Somebody take it.
Also, the outfits that these people are wearing kind of reminds me of the Monster Hunter garbs that they wear in the beginning.
Push comes to shove.
mm-hmm.
Keep 'em
Like
safe.
when you're a new hunter, you have those
Mm-hmm.
like what, leather or something like that.
Something like
I'm
that.
pretty sure you've seen I think you've seen the guards, but like they have that Monster Hunter like garb.
A little
thing.
bit, yeah.
But this is like before I played Monster Hunter, so like obviously I don't do the comparison back then. But nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on! Everybody up!
Right. New recruits, on me!
Come on.
Time to go, kiddo.
Well, you can tell some people are less poly than others. You can see where some of the butcher went for some people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that about does it for part 1.
Alrighty. Cool, cool.
Yeah, that about does it for part 1
Alright.
of Final Fantasy 13. I mean, it's gonna be a long one, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be very, very interesting how things go.
Yeah.